fear of the one that we're supposed to be connected to, because they've told us you gotta walk this tightrope and this line, and if you walk along the line, he's gonna send you to hell. You could live 30 years worshiping and living for him. Make one error, and if you die in that error, you're going to hell. What in the name of common sense does that mean? Are you crazy? Why would I even serve him if he's that sadistic and masochistic? I don't need a God like that. And so if I am so focused on staying on the line, I can't fulfill my assignment. But my God is big enough to handle my fault, my strokes, grubs, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh God, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. nothing but untidy. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Man, it feels like forever since we've been able to get together and have a conscious conversation. I am over the moon elated to see all of you that are gathered here in this space with me this morning. I appreciate you. I miss you guys so much. I miss you. And those of you who know me know that I'm passionate about teaching and having these kinds of exchanges. And so it's been a challenge not to be on and not having these conversations, but I am so glad to be able to come and share with you briefly this morning. Thank you for jumping on and being a part of the conversation. It's going to be really good, really informative, and encouraging and inspirational as well. I want to ask those of you who are on with me right now, as you know, this is only being broadcast live on YouTube. I may return to Facebook soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but I may return it. But even then, when I return, it will only be to come on and do our empowerment sessions, which will resume sometime next year. That sounds like a long time, but that's just a few hours away. Sometime next year, we'll resume having our empowerment sessions. And if I do return to Facebook, then that'll be what the bulk of what I'll do on Facebook will just be to come on for those empowerment sessions. If not, then they will certainly be broadcast live here on the YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to join us here in the conversation. I have just, like I said, I've missed you guys so very much, and I'm excited to be able to share with you this morning. So take a moment, if you will, and like the video. Go ahead and like it and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell so that you'll get alerts for whenever we're doing a live or whenever I am uploading something new to this particular page. You'll get an alert and you won't miss one moment and one conversation or any information that's released this way. You can also share this live with your friends and your families, your text groups and group chats that you have going on. Just click the share button, copy the link, and then send it out. You can also share it on Facebook, share it on any other social media platform by just clicking that same link. You'll see the options there as you click the linking, the share button. And you'll be able to share directly to your Facebook page or other social media platforms that you are on. And that way we can increase our audience and we can broaden the conversation out, have a good, healthy, and robust conversation. So you can do that right now. Now, the chat section is open on Facebook, so you can definitely participate in the live chat. I see many of you already on there. It's so good to see you. Hey, Diana, Lakivia, Kive. I see you, Lou Bridget. I see you, Diana. I see you, Lady T. That's Toya. Lady T. Kamaria. Hey. It's so good to see you. I've missed all of you so very much, and I'm just so glad that you are here
and participating, and others of you who are on may not be commenting or saying anything in the chat. Now, the chat is going to remain open because, as always, this is not just a speech or a presentation, but it's a conversation, it's a dialogue. So I want your thoughts, your feelings, your insights, and your questions as well. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat to make sure that I'm able to address each of them and also include your comments with the conversation. Well, we have made it to the end of another calendar year, Gregorian calendar year. Those of you who follow different calendars, some have began the new year back in September, others began it back in August, and others in October, depending upon what calendar that you use. But using the Gregorian calendar, we have made it to the end of another year. 2021 is coming to the culmination and its close, and we are preparing to enter into 2023. Now, we understand that time is an illusion, and even the existence of time as an illusion is not linear, but that it is spiral, that it is all happening at one time, that there are multiple timelines that are all operating simultaneously. So everything that will happen has happened and is happening right now. Okay, so when I said to you in the text message that I sent out that I got pulled into 2023, I got pulled into a particular timeline of 2023. So I want to say that up front. Here is this disclaimer that what I'm going to share with you is from the timeline that I was made consciously aware of. And so it's not etched in stone because, of course, all of us as divine expressions of God are autonomous in our choices. And so you can shape, change, and shift the reality that you experience, as well as any other person can do the same for themselves at any moment. We all live within the matrix of the reality that we create for ourselves. We are the God of our garden, and so nothing can exist there except we say, let there be. But there are some general things, according to the timeline, that I can speak to that outside of the parameter of human choice, but have to do with the universal movement and migration of the globe, of the planet, have to do with the evolution of nature and how it is responding to the evolutionary shift that is taking place with humanity. We're going to speak to those things as well. Now, I've struggled with how much to share during this live conversation, how far to go, how much to reveal, how particular and personal to be, and how much to keep it general and light. And I think I found a happy medium in between here. So I'm going to stick to that as much as I possibly can. So if everybody is ready, and I'm glad to see you as well, Kamoria. I am. And Happy New Year to you as well, Diane. It's good to see you on with us. Okay, if everybody's ready, then we're going to just dive right in. As you know, the prophetic, what I call prophetic season, is heightened and at its peak or intensity, it usually takes place around about the mid part of October and runs to the end of January. If you remember, I put out a short video in October, just kind of encouraging those of you who are empaths or prophetic or psychic or clairvoyant or intuitive, highly intuitive and sensitive, not because I knew that it was a tumultuous time where you're having a storm, if you will, of dreams and visions and visitations and transportations, or becoming consciously aware of yourself in different spaces and times and places. And so it's within the context of that particular understanding that I had several experiences. Matter of fact, man, I woke up the other day out of an experience where I was in a different dimension and had an encounter with, the best way that I can describe it is with a thing, a life form that I had never seen before. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. If I tried to describe it, I'd be using the vocabulary that I have from this time and this dimension that really wouldn't do it justice, but it was gorgeous. It was beautiful until I tried to touch it. And then that thing turned and attacked, and it's like it almost had fangs and claws. And I mean, I had to hurry and force myself back into this reality because I was like, oh, shoot, man. So I just given that as a small antidote, because it's like I'm trying to highlight the fact that those of us who have that kind of gifting or that kind of calling have multiple experiences that are just kind of weird and strange sometimes to our human mind. When you start, and those of you who are constantly talking about wanting to visit other timelines and other dimensions, just be mindful that things that take place there, and I use the term there as relative, but things that take place there can also affect you here. So it's not like it's not like television where you're some invisible ghost that's just moving through the timeline or that place or space and unaffected by it. That is not the case. You can see and be seen. You can feel and be felt, and whatever affects you there can affect you here as well. Okay, that's not what I came on here to talk about, but I'm just kind of just gave you that. That's free, don't cost you nothing. Okay. So in my visitations and conscious awareness in these places I've been in a particular timeline of 2023, I was made aware of certain things. And so I want to begin to share those with you. And then I also want to conclude by giving you some encouragements for the coming year. I don't necessarily believe in making resolutions or whatever. You can do that. It's nothing wrong with it. Please don't, feel like that's a bad thing to do. It's not. And nor should you look down upon others who do, because, you don't. It's just, it's a choice like everything else. So if it serves you, then wonderful. I don't necessarily make resolutions, but I do. I guess it's kind of just a semantic thing, because I call it a determination. I'm making some determinations for and setting out a strategy for the coming year. And I want to give you some encouragement to maybe begin to set up a strategy for 2023 that incorporates some of the information that I'm going to share with you this morning. So let's just jump right in, and I'm going to jump in hard, quick, because and just deal with one of what I thought was one of the more shocking things that I saw and experienced. In the year 2023, there will be an assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin. It's going to come from his interior group, people that are close to him, from someone or a group of people that he would not readily expect that this would come from. I saw the attempt take place. I did not see the outcome. So I don't know if he survives the attempt or if he does not survive the attempt, but I know that the attempt is made. It is a very public attempt, and so the news of it will spread around the globe almost immediately, especially in this information age with social media and so on and so forth. I cannot give you a pinpointed time that it's going to take place. I can tell you that it will be within 2023. Now, you're saying quickly, well, what does that have to do with me? Because if it is successful, or even if it's not successful, it will bring drastic global change as far as our relationship with Russia and other world countries' relationships with Russia. That has a global effect on all of us. So it's important that we are aware of it. And I am not for, against, or anything like that. I am just revealing what I saw and observed began to unfold. As a result of that, or connected to that, the U.S., I saw the United States entering into a conflict that encompasses Middle Eastern as well as a European ally, someone that we would normally think of as an ally. The U.S. entering into a really serious conflict with them, and it's centered around some events taking place in the Middle East. And so it's going to be a very tense and tenuous time period when this begins to take place. I didn't see a war. I did not see a war. I saw it. What I saw were these world leaders sitting around a table, and they were angry and pointing fingers and yelling. I couldn't make out everything that was being said, but I saw this taking place. I did not see a war. I did not see bombs or, armies marching. So I can't say whether that is going to be the result or not, but I know that that conflict is going to come, and it will be well publicized, not one of these that's swept under the rug and quiet. Okay. Also, 2023, and feel free to comment, feel free to give your thoughts or impressions, or maybe some of you have had a different experience. Share that in the comments. I am certainly watching the comments. Hey, Theresa, she says, I'm here with my coffee. I don't have my coffee this morning. I ran out and haven't picked up any more from the grocery store, so I gotta go buy some coffee. And good morning, Bridget. It's so good to see you. Good morning. It is an assassination attempt. That's what the attempt is on Vladimir Putin. And it's coming from inside of his own government, inside of his own structure, inside of the interior of his operation. Okay. All right. So March is the key month. It is like the keystone, the key month for the year of 2023, because that's when things begin to drastically change, shift, and move. You'll hear me tell you in this conversation that there's several things that will span the year, but they will intensify during the months of March. I see it, Diana. Me too. During the months of March, until about July. March is a pivotal time. Okay, it is a pivotal time in this year. This is, and y'all know I don't do the whole, is God in you in 22, and the whole rhyme and silliness that a lot of leaders, preachers, and stuff try and do. And I don't have slogans and stuff like that, but I will tell you that this coming year is going to be marked by movement. It is a year of movement, motion, migration, matriculation, maneuvering, mobility. It is a motility. It is a year of movement. Things will shift and change. It is an optimal time if you are considering moving to a different location, moving to a different state, moving to a different country. It's an optimal time to do that. Moving from one career to another, moving from one circumstance or situation to another. That there is a flow of energy that is optimal for movement, for advancement, for acceleration, and it will begin in the month of March and intensify along through those months right up until the end of July. Now, there's going to be that flow of energy throughout the entirety of the year, but it will intensify and reach its apex in the month of March through the month of July. Okay, that will be when the energy will be at its apex, and some key dates for that is going to be also March the 7th. March the 7th there's going to be what is called a worm moon. Okay, this is what the indigenous people or native people called a worm moon, and it was because of the positioning of the earth and the sun and the moon that softens the ground, and when it softens the ground, then the worms begin to surface and come to the top. So they termed it a worm moon. What it is when the moon is located on the opposite side of the earth as the sun. So you've got the sun on one side and the moon on the other side. That's what's called a worm moon. But it is significant to this increase and intensification of energy in the planet and throughout nature that will begin March the 7th, when that moon is full, and it will be bright and vibrant. There's also going to be a blood moon this year as well as a blue moon this year. A blood moon will be in August. Blue moon, I think, will be in October. And we can talk about that another time, what they signify and the importance of that. But I want you to think about this worm moon because it will signify this rise of energy that's coming up from the planet and all throughout the globe that is aligned with and attuned with movement that creates an optimal window for forward progress, forward movement, shifting, even lateral movements, shifting from one place to another. So if you are considering moving in 2023, whether it's across the street or across the country or across the globe, whether it's from one job or another, one career or another, one school or another, one particular faith practice to another. It's when you are evolving in your conscious understanding of things. This is a time of movement, and it will intensify during the months of March to July, centered around this worm moon that will be in full view March the 7th. Okay, so this is a year of movement. I'm looking at my notes that I wrote here. Movement, migration, matriculation, modification, mobility, maneuvering. The energy will intensify and flow throughout the year, but it will reach its peak beginning in March, running through July. And then you will also see another spike of this energy in the month of September as well. So you can kind of plan and strategize around that. Okay. As I said, March is a key month of the year. Everything changes and shifts dramatically in March. What I heard and saw was that all 7 mountains of influence will be affected by this energy. All 7 mountains of influence will be affected and effected by this energy. For those of you who may not be aware, there are 7 mountains of influence universally influencing humanity in the earth. There's the mountain is just a terminology. You can call them spheres or portals or whatever you want to call them. I say mountains. They are business and economics, entertainment, religion, media, government, family, and education. Okay, there is going to be dramatic changes and shifts in all 7 mountains, business and economics. I saw a major event happening with trade unions, and that we should see this materialize around about March and April with the trade unions. Also, that the global market is going to experience what some would call a major recession or crash. It will again also initiate around the month of March, but that's not something that you need to be concerned or afraid of, because we are given this kind of insight so that we can prepare. Remember last year when I started talking to you about getting your financial house in order, and so that you will be prepared for these kinds of markets that will come, because when the market goes down, when it crashes, then it means that stock prices, investment time is at its height, that stock prices are at their lowest, and what you want to do is buy low and sell high. And so it's going to be kind of like the bubble burst of 2008, but I don't see it being as severe as 2008, but certainly in that neighborhood. It may not be the same house, but it's certainly in the neighborhood as a 2008. So that's good for you as far as investing in real estate. I know Kiwi's on here. She's a real estate agent, so that's somebody you want to connect with. She can help you with all of your real estate concerns and investments. But yeah, it's a good time to invest in real estate. It's a good time to invest in stocks. It will be a good time for you to invest in renewable energy, those companies that specialize in those areas. The stock is going to go way down, and I'm not talking about like Tesla, their stock is plummeting for a different reason. We already know what that reason is. I don't want to open myself up to any kind of lawsuits, but their stock is plummeted, and it has nothing to do with the other. It's plummeting because of some other things that are going on within the company. But I mean other renewable energies from solar and wind and electric vehicles as well. Outside of Tesla, this will be a good time for those of you who have been listening from last year and the year before, and you have positioned yourself where you have a little nest egg that you'd like to be able to invest and grow. This will be a good time to do so. Again, this will initiate around the month of March and run right through the end of July, probably touching into the first part of August as well. So you gotta have, you can't jump into it with fear. You gotta be willing to ride it out. Because it's going to recover. It's going to start to recover around the end of the year, and that's when you'll start to really make some money. And if you know about options trading, this is a good time for you to jump in and participate in some option trades that can really, really pay off big time during the course of this time. It's immediate growth if you can just wait out that period where the dip takes place, and that's going to take place, like I said, beginning in March, and it will flow right on through the end of July, probably touching the first part of August, and then recovery will begin. And it's going to be a pretty quick recovery, not like supercharged, bulls racing up the hill, but a pretty rapid recovery. I think that we can expect to see growth at about a 2.4% pace beginning around that time, around 2.4%, and that's pretty good growth. That's pretty good growth. That's the first mountain. Business, entertainment is going to see a dramatic shift. And I saw a number of influential people in the entertainment arena. And when I say influential, I'm not talking about the stars per se, who everybody knows, but the people behind the stars that are making things happen. I see a number of them transitioning in the year 2023, which is going to have a drastic effect on the entertainment industry and going to change the fabric or the presentation of the types of entertainment that is being put forward. And please understand that everything that is evolving in entertainment does entertain, but it can also inform. Please understand this. Please understand this. As you have seen over the past couple of decades, with the rise of movies like The Matrix, A Wrinkle in Time, and so on and so forth, that more and more spiritual insight and information is being infused within the entertainment industry, because more and more people are awakening around the globe, and so it is being infused, and we're going to see that but to continue and heighten during 2023. In religion, we're going to see a number of splits and splinterings within the various religious organizations, from Christianity to Islam but especially in Christianity, where the Catholic Church is concerned. A lot of splitting and splintering as more and more people awaken and begin to transition away from the organized religions and the traditions of those religions, and start to begin to look inward and become aware of their own divinity and their own godliness, that as a result of that, you're going to see a declining. Now, here is the thing. There is a prophecy, if you will, or a vision that John is purported to have had in Revelation, where he looks at seven, what the interpreter said, seven churches, I believe, are seven dispensations of time. And in that prophecy or vision, the last two of the churches or times or dispensations that are mentioned are titled Philadelphia and Laodicea, and the two of them overlap each other. It's not written that way, but I'm telling you what I saw, that the two of them overlap. You will have organized religion as Laodicea, lukewarm. That's what most people remember about the Laodicean church. But the thing that is the most telling about that one is that one phrase where it is told, you think that you are rich and increased with goods and have need of nothing, and knoweth not. The three saddest words, I think, in the entire Bible, and knoweth not. It's like you think that you got it all together and everything is gravy train with biscuit wheels and ice cream and strawberries, and knoweth not, and you are unconscious, unaware that you are blind and naked and poor and wretched. He's like, you lack the self-awareness of just how dysfunctional you are. And so because you are unconsciously aware of who you are, where you are, and what's taking place, and you see things through the lens of your own ego, so therefore believing that everything is wonderful and coming up roses, then there is no catalyst, no desire, no motivation to change, but to increase what you've already been doing, because you think that everything is fine, that it's not me, it's them, it's not us. The world is just more wicked. People don't want God. Folk don't want to live right. Folk don't want to do this, that, and the other. And so they project outward because they are unaware of just how dysfunctional they are, and therefore there's no motivation to change. But the other side of that, overlapping at the same time, is Philadelphia. This is is portrayed as a much smaller remnant, if you will, a smaller number of people who have awakened to their own conscious divinity and began to understand their assignment within the earth as divine expressions of God, for God, a vehicle for which God can experience itself in three-dimensional form, and its oneness with God and oneness therefore with all of humanity, and then seeks ways to better serve humanity, to serve their brother, their sister, other parts, other people rather that they encounter, looks for ways to be more loving, more giving, more generous, more understanding, more compassionate. And the two of these exist simultaneously. You have the religious tradition of the day that is totally unconscious of its own dysfunction, and you have the awakening, those who have pretty much been pushed out and rejected and called crazy and cult-like, but they are the ones who are moving the spiritual growth and acceleration of the planet forward because of their awareness of who they are. And that's all of you that are on here with me right now. That's all of us collectively as we combine our energies together, our spirit together, our conscious awareness together to create a reality that is greater for the generations that will follow than the ones that are here. And so as a result, in 2023, you will see these two dispensations, these two churches, if you will, dispensations or activities or sects or groups existing at the same time, and one completely oblivious to its state. You can actually see that happening right now, but it will become more pronounced in 2023. And that's across the spectrum. I speak about Christianity because it, of course, is the religion that I was raised in, most familiar with, but I am familiar with, the other religions as well, and all of them have a dogma that demands conformity, and they're going to begin to splinter and split in 23, and more, if you will, independent gatherings, groups, or individuals will emerge, more conscious voices coming to the front, and what was at one point thought of as abnormal will become the norm. Okay, that's the third mountain, wasn't it? Right. So the fourth mountain is the mountain of media. And what I saw was traditional media beginning a rapid decline in 2023, and the rise of other non-traditional media really beginning to come to the forefront. Traditional media like various newspapers and 24-hour news channels declining rapidly as other new innovative forms of media and information will begin to grow and expand, and more people will turn to that. Even away, I gotta be careful with that right there, because but even away from some of the more popular platforms that exist today, let me speak like that, will begin to decline rapidly as new innovative platforms will begin to emerge throughout 2023. Okay, I'll say it just like that. Government, and as I spoke earlier about the tension that the United States is going to have with a European ally, and with about certain things that are taking place in the Middle East. But I also saw the United Nations being reformed, some other countries becoming a part, some other pieces being moved around within the United Nations, and it's changing its fundamental structure, and a drastic reformation taking place in the United Nations. I also saw in that Middle East uprising and the conflict with a European ally, that other countries around the globe, some that we have not necessarily been allies with, will come into alignment with the focus of the United States, and then several of these Middle Eastern countries that created the conflict will be globally isolated as a result. And that's going to not only affect the global economy, but it's going to affect the global psyche and societal movement as well. Okay. Also, family and social, that mountain of family, social, that we're going to continue to see an expansion and evolution in the society concerning how family is defined, redefining certain social norms, and things that were once thought unacceptable becoming more and more acceptable in 2023. A lot of the taboos are going to be eradicated and annihilated in 2023. And of course, you will have those dissenting voices who I don't know, something's wrong with us and we just going to hell in a handbasket and we falling away from God and all that other kind of nonsense. But it is not. It is the evolution of the human species that we are starting to begin to evolve, and therefore our outlook and perception changes, our behavior changes, and so what was thought of as abnormal before will be an acceptable norm. And then finally, in education, I saw some major shifts and innovations in a major investment is coming to education, especially here in the United States as well as in the UK. A major investment and then some major innovation that will come out of the United States and China where education is concerned, changing methods and strategies and focuses as well. Methods, strategies, and focuses. Okay, major investments in education. And I don't know, Dee Dee, if that means that teachers are going to get paid more. I don't know. I just know that there's going to be a major investment in education. And to expand and reform it and innovate how we go about educating and changing what we focus on as far as education is concerned. Whew. Okay, I'm still watching the comments. Y'all not really saying too much. Dee says, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I know you do. Dee's a teacher, for those of you who don't know. So she's hoping for that they stop paying teachers more. And they deserve to be paid more. They really do. They do God's work. They really do. But that's a whole nother conversation. Okay? All right. January and February are a time for you to focus on soul cleansing. January and February, so starting tomorrow and throughout February, I want you to begin to focus on soul cleansing. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you need to do the internal work, the shadow work, the interior decluttering necessary to free yourself and free and unlock your inner senses. You know what, Beverly, I absolutely agree. Beverly says teachers need more dealing with children of today. I absolutely agree. Okay, but yeah, to do it, focus on soul cleansing, to really cleanse your soul. Get rid of all of the debris and the residue and the clutter. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when we get to the encouragements. So I won't spend a lot of time there, but take those months, January and February, to really do a soul cleansing, because opportunities are going to flow toward you in large numbers. But if your soul is still cluttered with the residue of what was, and you are still rehearsing on a loop what has been, and you are writing these narratives within your own mind, they will color your view and perception. And when the opportunity comes, you won't recognize them because you will be viewing them through the lens of your own pain, your hurt, your trauma, your anger, your bitterness, your brokenness. And so you will be too fearful or too angry to move forward and won't see the opportunity, because the opportunities don't always appear as opportunities when they appear. They in many times come dressed in the attire of a challenge, when in fact it's an opportunity. They may come dressed in overalls and brogans as work, but it's an opportunity for you to really grow and expand. So cleansing your soul is very important. Now, again, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more as I get to the encouragements. I want to get through the rest of these prophetic insights, predictions, or whatever you want to call them. Seed time will commence in March and run all the way through till August, the end of August. And then harvest time will commence in September and run all the way through to the end of November. Seed time, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will never cease. Seed time and harvest, summer and winter, so on and so forth, that these things will never cease. Okay? Seed time for the year 2023 will commence in March, and I told you that March is a pivotal month and will run through the end of August. This is seed time. This is the time for you to sow seed. And we understand that sowing seed is not just about money. It includes money, but it is not just about money. It's about time, talent, and treasure. It's about giving. And we'll talk about that a little bit more a little later as well. I just want to give you the dates right now. Seed time will commence in March and run through the end of August. Harvest will begin in September and run through the end of November. Okay? Harvest will commence at those times. Finally, I saw the earth continuing to groan and moan and be in an upheaval, but it is not because the earth is angry or upset or because of mistreatment or anything like that. It is because of the evolutionary shifting of all of humanity, and the earth is reflecting back to humankind its own thoughts, its own beliefs, and its own behavior. Remember, your outer world of form and experience is a reflection of your inner world of thought and feeling. Okay, I will. So the earth is going to continue to groan and moan. Are you talking about this one, or are you asking me to repeat about seed time and harvest? I don't know which one. Toya, type it in the comments real quick. Which one did you want me to repeat, about the earth or about seed time and harvest? Waiting for your comment to pop up. Waiting for it to pop up. Type fast. Your comment still hadn't come up, but I'm going to repeat what I was just saying then. That the earth and all of nature will continue to groan, and it is responding to the quantum evolutionary leap or shifting of the planet and of all of humanity. Remember that your outer world of form and experience is a reflection of your inner world of thought and feeling. So what's happening in the earth is a reflection of humanity's thoughts, behaviors, feelings, beliefs, and the earth has no choice but then to reflect that back to us. Consequently, we're going to begin to see even more drastic changes in the weather patterns. What is known as climate change is a real thing, and it is going to become more real in 2023 than it was in the last 2 decades. I'll say that again. It is going to become more real and more evident of its reality in 2023 than it has ever been in the last 2 decades. We are going to see some dramatic planetary changes and shifts and events that take place with the weather, with catastrophic events taking place. It's not God being angry at mankind. It's not a devil or a demon trying to attack and all that other nonsense. It is the earth reflecting back to humanity its own behavior and its own choices. And as a result, we are going to see the earth continue to groan and moan and shape and reshape and respond and reflect its reconstruction in the image in which we are creating it. And so these natural disasters and the results of climate change are going to be more evident in 2023 than they have been over the last 2 decades. It is not hopeless. It is not something that cannot be changed or fixed, but it requires a shift in the global psyche of humanity, how we look at the earth, how we look at this and look at nature, how we look at each other, and how we behave as a result of that will then begin to calm and soothe the earth. The earth understands that it is under the leadership, the rulership of these God, and I use the term man generically, mankind, gods walking around on it and in it. And so it has to respond and reflect to the collective consciousness of all of humanity. As our consciousness shifts, then so goes the earth. So goes humanity. So goes the earth. It is not the other way around. Okay? So goes humanity. So goes the earth. Yes. Oh, that's really good. Theresa, I'm going to put that on screen. Theresa said, we need to re-articulate, know that all things are made new. We are divinity and know that God is in everything, omnipresent. Man, that is so rich and full. There's a lot to unpack there. We need to rethink, know, re-articulate all things are made new, that the earth will reflect who and what we are, how we view ourselves. So goes humanity, so goes the earth, that we are divinity. Okay, we are divinity. We are God in the flesh. We are the divine image, likeness, and expression of God in 3-dimensional form. We are the vehicle through which God experiences and expresses itself in the earth. We are the divine presence of the all of everything in t-shirts, jeans, shirts, dresses, and sneakers, and sweatpants, and whatever it is that you happen to choose to wear. that we are God moving, matriculating, and migrating through the earth, and our actions, our thoughts, our feelings, our behavior have a direct effect on the rest of the planet. And what we accept as a global community as our truth is reflected in how the planet and all of nature responds to us. We each live within the matrix of the reality that we create, but there is a collective consciousness of humanity that has a global effect on how the planet responds and reflects back to us. That our collective consciousness, our oneness with all, is reflected in our oneness with nature as well. And so as we go, so goes the planet. Okay? Now I'm encouraged by that because there is this global awakening that is taking place. More and more people becoming aware of their divine self, of their own divinity, and that is definitely bringing about a good and righteous, substantial shift and change that will heal the land. There's a text in the Bible, in Chronicles, if my people which are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from the wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal the land. And that's often misinterpreted. Let me give you a clearer interpretation of that particular text because it releases a principle. It says that the land that is sickened, it needs to be healed, not because there's anything wrong with the land, but because of what's happening with the people. So goes humanity. So goes the planet. As humanity goes, so goes the planet. He says, so now, if those who are me, my people, divine expressions of the all of everything that are called by my name, identify as divine beings in the earth, will humble themselves and pray. And we know that prayer is an affirmative speaking, an affirmative conversation, declaration that we make into the universe. So it is the second step in the process of creation, the thought, word, deed process. And so as he says, who are called by my name will humble themselves and begin to affirmatively pray and seek God's guidance, God's direction, God's desire for humanity, for each of us as individuations of God in the earth, and turn, here's the one now where people really get thrown left field, turn from their wicked ways. They think that this has to do with the boogeyman and what they call their misdefinition of sin as being some, malfeasance or anything. But sin is simply missing the mark. Haptomahe in the Greek, meaning to miss the mark, to misjudge. It's the sin is whatever choices or decisions that you make that are antithetical to your highest good, highest vision and version of yourself. That's what it is. And so he says, if we will turn from our error, turn from our misunderstanding, misperception, missing of the mark, and begin to follow a path that is more aligned with the highest vision and version of our being as divinity in the earth, he says, then will I hear, who is the I, God, in us, through us, and at us, and as us, from heaven, our highest consciousness, and forgive the error. And then as a result, the land responds because it is now healed, because mankind is healed. As humanity heals, the land heals. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay, that's really good, Beverly. As a man thinketh, so is he. Okay? As humanity heals, then the land, the earth heals. Are y'all following me? You with me? Okay. All right, I think that's all of the predictions. Let me give you some encouragements. Blood moon in October, blue moon in August. Matter of fact, the blood moon will be October the 28th, blue moon August the 21st, and maybe we'll come back on and we'll talk about the significance of the blood moon and the blue moon, as well as we talked about the worm moon as well. And we'll talk about that because that definitely has an effect on the energy as it flows in the earth and flows in us. We are energy. The earth is energy. Everything is all energy. And so we need to understand the energetic fields that are being intensified in the earth. And so we'll talk about that in another session. Okay. So here are some things that you can, I want to encourage you to make your determination or your resolution or your intention or whatever for 2023, that I am absolutely certain that if you do these things, you're going to have an absolutely magnificent 2023. Now, this is not comprehensive and it's not etched in stone. If it doesn't resonate with you, any parts of it doesn't resonate, don't do it. Toss it. Do what works for you. Do what supports your highest vision and version of yourself. Okay? These are just what I want to give you. 7 things. Number 1, at the top of the list, I want you to stop regretting past decisions. Stop regretting and rehearsing and rerunning and replaying on a loop past decisions. You made whatever decision that you made at the time. You made it with the knowledge that you had at the time, and you thought at the time it was the best decision for you. You could only make the decision based upon the knowledge and awareness and consciousness you had at the time. And you made it thinking that it was the best thing for you at that time. It didn't turn out that way. Okay. Choose again. Make another decision. But let that go. Quit rehearsing it. Quit replaying it. Quit rerunning it. Quit reliving it. Let it go and move forward. This is what I'm saying to you. All of the things that you think, man, I regret this and I regret it. And if I hadn't done this, and if I hadn't done that, and if I had only done this, and if I had only done, and if I had not, and if I had, and if, let it go. Let it all go. Starting right now, today, before the new year dawns, let it go. And walk into 2023 with a clean slate. Whether the decision was made last year, 10 years ago, a decade ago, or 30 days ago, or yesterday, let it go. Walk into 2023 a clean slate. No regrets. No replays, no reruns, no rehearsing, no loops that are playing in my mind. Ball that paper up, throw it away, and start to write a new narrative. Okay? Number 2, be generous, munificent, inherently and habitually a giver. The highest form and expression of love is giving. The esoteric act of giving is the highest expression of love. It is the highest expression of love. Love is expressed in generosity. So I want you to be a magnificent, generous, habitual, perpetual, spontaneous giver. Giving of yourself, giving of your time, giving of your resources. Give discerningly, but give. You absolutely cannot lose. Remember that when you give, you begin to enact all of the universal laws around wealth and increase and compensation and circulation and all of the other universal laws that engendered to you a more bountiful and abundant life that illuminates the abundance that radiates through you and as you because of the esoteric act of giving. So I want you to be intentional, habitual, magnificent and generous and spontaneous about giving. Go over and above. Do what you can do for whomever you can. Give to everyone that asks. Give of those who are not even expecting or asking. And don't limit yourself to money. Money is included, but it is not exclusive, okay? Not just money. You have so much. If all you have to give is money, then you really don't know how rich you are because you have so much more than money to give. You have things to give that are way more valuable than what money could ever purchase. You can give joy and peace and happiness and love. You can give support and comfort and understanding and counsel. You can give of your talent, your ability, your insight, your wisdom, your knowledge. Be a giver. Look for opportunities to give. Look for opportunities to empower and better the people that are around you. Don't limit yourself to your family members or those who are related to you by blood, but give and look for opportunities outside of the norm, outside of your usual, to be expressive of the love of God that you are. Give, and give some more. That's the whole seed time and harvest. As I spoke of earlier, seed time beginning in March, running through until around the end of August, and then the harvest time beginning in September, running to the end of November. Your giving spirit, giving mindset, giving mantra is your seed. Okay? It is your seed. Whether that is of your goodness, your peace, your kindness, your compassion, or your money, your resources, things. When you are doing that, that is your seed in preparation for harvest. So I want you to be focused on being a habitual, hilarious, cheerful, glad, joyful, spontaneous giver throughout the entire year, but especially during that period of seed time. Number 3, be hyper intentional about your life. I want you to be hyper intentional about your life. Listen, don't waste time. Your most precious resource is your time. Don't waste your time. Be very intentional about your life by not wasting time. Be very particular about what you give your time and energy to. Make sure that it is something that elevates you, that serves you, that accelerates you, that uplifts you, that you ultimately desire. Don't waste time. Be intentional about your life and prioritize yourself. I know that sounds real selfish. And it is. And selfish is not a bad thing. I want you to prioritize yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize your dreams, your visions, your desires, your hopes. Prioritize the highest version and vision of your life and begin to give your time and energy into creating and manifesting that. Please understand what I just said to you, because that is powerful, what I just said to you. Okay? Please stop prioritizing things that are of no consequence, that as it relates to your vision, your dream, and your highest version of yourself. Many of you find yourself prioritizing a job. I was just reading an article the other day about a young man who worked for a particular company and had worked for them for decades, and was putting in 16, 18, sometimes 20-hour days working for this particular company, neglecting his children, his family. And then he had an accident on the job where he simply pushed the button, and for whatever reason it was miswired or something was wrong with the wiring, and he received a shock that electrocuted him, landed him in the hospital, debilitated him. And do you know that that same company that he had given his life to, his time to, his energy to, he had prioritized? Now, at the point where he needed their assistance, pushed him to the side as though he never existed. As a matter of fact, began to work against him, hiring investigators to try and see if he was faking, and making him go through this long, drawn-out process just to be able to get some disability and compensation for what he was dealing with and putting his family through. He lost so many material things, and his family in turmoil and traumatized, because he was giving all of his time to a company that will go on without him. Your company will go on without you. Who you're working for, your job will go on without you. I'm not telling you to do shabby work. I'm not telling you not to be a dutiful employee. I'm telling you, don't make it your priority. Your job is a means. It is not the end. Ooh, let me say that again. I said your job is a means. It is not the end. It is a means to the end. It is there to support whatever your highest vision and version for you and your life and your family, your lived experience is. Keep the focus on prioritizing yourself. Take a vacation. You don't get any brownie points because you don't use up any of your vacation time, or you don't use up any of your sick leave, or you don't use up. You're not getting brownie points for that. Do you really think that they care whether you take a vacation or not? You said, no. The company needs me. You need to rest. You need to relax. You need to have fun. You need to explore. You need to have adventures. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize your happiness. Prioritize your wholeness. Prioritize your healing. Prioritize your fitness. Make sure you prioritize yourself. And not just for 2023. You can begin to be intentional about it this year, but keep that same energy for the rest of your existence on this three-dimensional plane. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize getting rest. Prioritize being healthy. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Prioritize those things. It is important that you get the most out of this lived experience that is possible. You were sent here and you chose to come here for the experience. The experience is the point. Nothing else. The experience is the point. Okay? So your job is a means. It is not the end. It is a means to an end. Okay? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? I'm looking at the comments. That one resonated. I can see. Oh, you saw it. You should. Kamaria saw the one that I'm talking about. I'm not going to call the company's name, but yeah, it's ridiculous. That LaBridget says, our job is a means to an end. Facts. I will prioritize myself. Yeah, absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. Prioritize yourself. Number 4. I want you to read at least one book a month. Oh, come on, Miles, man. You giving us homework. Now, if it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. Okay? I'm not giving you homework. I'm giving you self-work. I want you to just, that's just 12 books a year. I read 107 books this year. 107. I was surprised myself how many I had read this year. I read 107 books this year. I'm just asking you to do 12 books for the year. One book a month. Reading broadens and expands your awareness of the world around you, which will ultimately make you more self-aware. Okay? Reading is a wonderful tool. You get to experience and explore other cultures and experiences and perspectives and views from around the planet without ever having to leave your couch if you want. Okay? And that ultimately makes you more consciously aware of the world around you and ultimately more aware of yourself. You will learn things about yourself, about what you like, what you enjoy, what engenders happiness within you that you never even imagined. And read whatever it is that you enjoy reading, whether it's history or fiction or nonfiction or, you know, even them old stupid trashy romance books. I just don't see the point of those. But if you enjoy it, then okay, that's fine. I don't see the point of those. Okay? But whatever your taste is, books about cooking, books about travel, read at least one book a month. At least one. Might I suggest? Shameless plug. Might I suggest? I got the third one over here somewhere, but anyway, yeah, just a suggestion. But read at least one book a month. Look at this. Dee Dee Whitman, but Dee Dee is what we call her. She says, that was my plan starting tomorrow. One book a month. Yeah. Okay, I'm playing. I'm playing. Okay? Yeah, one book a month. Okay? Good books. And I got If you need any suggestions, man, I got a library out of this world, so I can give you all kind of suggestions on books that you can read. I'm telling you right now, tons of them. So if you want suggestions on books that you can read that I think are absolutely phenomenal. Matter of fact, I said I was going to put out a list of my top 5 reads for 2022 that I read in 2022. And I'm going to do that and post it. I already did it once. I posted it on Twitter. And since I'm not on Facebook, so I may post it on Instagram or something, or maybe I'll include it in one of our empowerment sessions. But if you want suggestions, just talk to me. 1 book a month. All right, what was that? Number 4? So number 5. It's only 7 of them. I want you to spend more time with people who give you energy and raise your vibration, and spend less time with people who just drain you. I want you to find your tribe and connect with people. Now, I know for some of you that are very introverted, this is going to be a real challenge because you don't really like people. Okay, but I am challenging you to step out of your comfort zone and actually connect with some people that help to bring you good energy and raise your vibration. And likewise, move away from, not cut them off, but spend less time with people who simply drain you. Okay? They drain your energy. They drain you, just make you, when you finish being around them, you just tired. Because they just sap all the energy out of you, okay? But I need you to do this. I want you to do this. I don't need you to do this. I desire for you to do this, to step outside of your little tiny teeny circle that you can barely see. And take the risk and connect with other people around you. I'm not saying you got to invite them to your house for dinner. I'm not saying that you got to go on a vacation with them. I'm just saying, have a coffee or a lunch or go see a play and just or just sit and communicate and talk so that energy can resonate within you and you within. So there's that joyful exchange that takes place when you encounter someone who excites you, who informs you, who stimulates your intellect. I want you to be around those who give you good energy. Okay? That's what I desire for you in 2023. Yes. LaBridget says it takes so much energy to connect with new people, but I will do my best. Jesus, I love my small circle introvert problems. Trust me, you are not alone. There are others on here as well that they just, they're like, no, stay away. Stay away. I know one particular person on here that, boy, when they meet a person, that person would probably leave their presence thinking that they're the most important person in the world, that they are wonderful, and that this person really thinks the world of them. And then as soon as they leave, they've forgotten about them altogether. And they have no intention of ever reaching out, talking to them again. It's like, whatever. I'm not calling no names. I'm just saying. Okay. It's not enough just to love people. You need to like people as well. Come out of your shell, come out of your cave, come out of your corner, and connect with other people around you. Those are the connections that can sometimes catapult you toward fulfilling your vision for your life. Okay? So, connect with some good people. I'm having way too much fun with that. Okay, number 5. Once a week, I want you to do something alone. Now, for those folk I was just talking about, this would be no problem. For others who are more extroverted, this might be a challenge. But once a week, I want you to do something alone, whether it's go to a movie, go to dinner, take a day trip, whatever, but I want you to do it alone. Okay? Society has kind of programmed us to think that to do anything by ourselves is weird. It's not weird. Okay? Because if you're not comfortable, listen to this. Catch this. Catch what I'm getting ready to say to you. If you are not comfortable being alone, then you will find it extremely difficult to walk away from toxic relationships. Man, did you hear what I just said? You need to write this one down. I'm telling you, if you are not comfortable being alone, being with yourself, enjoying your own company, then you will find it extremely difficult to walk away from dysfunctional, toxic relationships. And you will find yourself slipping into that whole codependency enabler mindset because you're not comfortable walking away and being alone. So once a week, I want you to do something alone. Now, to the introverts, again, that's going to be real easy for you because you do that already. You prefer it, as a matter of fact. Okay. Okay. But I'm talking to the rest of you who are more extroverted. I want you to do something alone, whatever that happens to be. Whatever it is. Go to a movie, take a day trip, go out to dinner, go to a play, go out to the park, do whatever. But do it just with you. Be alone with your thoughts, alone with your feelings, alone with you. Entertain yourself. Enjoy your own company. Okay? That was what, number 6? So leave these children home. You so wrong. You are not going to treat my godchildren that way. Absolutely not. Those are my babies. No, you send them to me then. I'll take them. Oh my goodness. I know y'all watching Camille, Kamara, Nick. Y'all hear that? You hear your mama? That's right. Y'all just come to God, Daddy. I got you. I love you. You come hang out with me anytime. She says that'll be fine. Okay, that was number 6. So number 7, here's the last one. I want you to do it for 2023. I want you to embrace journaling. Not like you've been doing it haphazardly every now and then when you feel like it, when you think about it. But to embrace it, truly embrace it continuously. Okay, consistently. I want you to embrace journaling, writing your goals, your dreams, your visions, your feelings, your experiences. These writing does 4 things for you. Okay? It memorializes, it solidifies, it clarifies, and it helps you to visualize. Let me say that again. Writing does 4 things for you. It memorializes, When you put it in writing, it's there. You can always go back and read it again and be reminded of what you said, what you thought, what you experienced, what you felt. It solidifies because you are able to then begin to put it in order. It clarifies. When you start to write, you ever been to the place where you're not really sure what to say or how to say what you're feeling, but if you start to write, clarity comes. And before you know it, you thought you were only going to write a couple of sentences and you've written paragraphs because you get this clarity that begins to flow through you as you write. And then it helps you to visualize. That clarity begins to paint a portrait that allows you to easily visualize what it is that you're writing. Okay? The principle of writing immortalizes the creator, or the creation rather, of the creator. And remember, you are creators. You are the creator creating creation. Okay? So I want you to write, journal every night before you go to bed. I want you to do a soul cleansing. Take a soul bath, shower. Empty yourself of the residue of the day by using your journal and leave it all on the page so that you can go to sleep in a peaceful, uplifted, and enlightened mindset or consciousness. And you can rest because you're not carrying all of that residue with you into your sleep cycle. I talked earlier about a soul cleanse, doing the interior work. Well, part of journaling helps you with soul cleansing. When you start to write it down, it clarifies it. It solidifies it, and you're able to then begin to organize it and decide what to do with it, to release it. In your prayer, in your meditation, you're able to release it and begin to set out strategies for what you're going to do moving forward. So every night, just like you take a shower before you go to bed, do a soul shower or a soul bath. And just cleanse yourself from the residue of the day before you lay head to pillow, before you start snoring and slobbing. I can't help but be silly sometimes. But seriously, I'm serious about it though. Okay? Do that at least every night before you go to bed. Now you can journal throughout the day, but embrace journaling and do a soul cleanse every single night. Don't go to bed with a bunch of gunk and junk. You still got all the residue of the workday and going around in your head, and issues you dealt with and encounters you had with this person or that person or the other thing, and frustrations and upset and angry, or questions or fears or doubts or speculations. To cleanse it all out, journal, meditate, pray, and go to sleep. And watch how you wake up in the morning, how refreshed and vibrant you are. And go to bed. Stop staying up until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Take your hind part to bed. Getting proper rest is important. I can't believe I'm saying that, huh? Y'all, I know some of y'all probably shocked me. I'm like, what? Did he just say? I did. I know I got to be first partake, but go to bed. Look, since I stepped away from pastoring, I'm sleeping better now than I ever did. Over the past 47 years, I've slept better this last year since I walked away from pastoring than I did all those years before. Carrying all those folk and all that stuff with me to bed and just couldn't sleep, just always up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh man, I am sleeping like a baby. I'm telling you, believe me. Y'all hear me, Toya, Diana? I am sleeping like a baby now. Ooh, I'm serious. I get some good sleep, man, please. All that, no more. No more. Okay. I hear you. See, Theresa, yeah. I know you ain't the only one. Trust me. You are not by yourself. Theresa said, you stepped on my toes. I need to go to bed earlier. Yeah. But now I get my rest. I'm still up early. I like clockwork. But trust me, I know how to wind down at night, and I lay that head down in peace and just sleep. Slobbing, snoring, rolling, just good sleep. I'm telling you. I know Diana. Diana talking about it's about time. All it took was for me to step away. But I'm not blaming, because I could have did that then. I just didn't. I thought that I shouldn't. I carried the weight of the ministry on me so heavy that I thought that, that's what I'm supposed to do. I spent 40-some years of my life prioritizing people in the church over myself, over my children, over everything, over my health. I remember one time I had just had surgery in the hospital. Do you hear what I said? I got out of my hospital bed, stitches, blood dripping, to go preach. In Gainesville, a friend of mine, David Richardson, at his church. Just stupid. Just stupid. I thought I was being dedicated and committed and, as a man of God that loved the Lord. No, that was somebody being stupid. Okay. And they had to about carry me to the car afterwards. How dumb was that? But anyway, I digress. All right. So prioritize yourself and embrace journaling so you can do a soul cleansing every night before you go to sleep, and you can get good, restful, sweet sleep, and your soul is free to experience and express itself and be aware of itself in the various spaces in time. And you will start having these memories, flashback dreams that you were never even conscious of before, and becoming aware of yourself in all of these different places. Okay? All right. So I'll read through all 7 of them again real quick. Stop regretting past decisions. Be generous. Be hyper intentional about your life, prioritizing yourself. Read at least 1 book a month. Spend more time with people that give you energy and less time with people who drain you. Once a week, do something alone. And then finally, embrace journaling and cleanse your soul every night before you go to bed. All right? Whew, we've been on here for almost 2 hours now. So it's time to say goodbye. Okay. Did you guys enjoy this conversation? I miss talking with you guys, man. This was phenomenal. Can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to do it again. We're going to get back on the regular schedule real soon. Even if it's just on YouTube. I don't know about Facebook yet. I'm torn about that out. So I'll let you know, you guys, through the text messages. I'll let you know. If you are not aware, if you would like to sign up for our free text notification so you know when we're getting ready to come on, you can just simply text the word emerge to the number 833 Nope, the number changed. So I need to change that scroll. I got to look at it now. Hold on. That's right. The number changed. What is the new number? 844-276-7888. 844-276-7888. 844-276-7888. Text the word emerge to 844-276-7888, and you'll automatically be enrolled in our text notification, free text notification. Let me change that right now while I'm thinking about it, because otherwise I'll be scrolling the wrong number again. So there we go. There it is, scrolling on your screen right now. All right, 844-276-7888. And you'll be signed up for our text notification. You can do that right now so that you don't miss out. And plus, I also send out encouraging words and other inspiration in the text messages every now and then, periodically. So sign up to be a part of our free text notification. It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost you anything except for 15 seconds of your time to sign up. That's all. Okay. All right. If you'd like to give in support of what we are doing here in this platform, or you just want to give as a way of appreciation for what you receive from me, through me, then you can do so by using the means that are on your screen right now, the Cashapp as well as Zelle. Whatever you'd like to give in support of the work that we're doing and to support this platform is greatly appreciated. I appreciate those of you who tithe with me. I absolutely appreciate that. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate your giving. Those of you who just periodically give or spontaneously give, I do appreciate you as well. Thank you so very much for your support and for your time and for your love. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been fun. It's been great. Let me see. Did I miss anything in the comments? Theresa says this was great. Thank you. Thank you for tuning. I missed you guys. Thank you. Bridget says this was good information. Thank you for sharing. Have a great day, everyone. I love that. Thank you. And then Latoya is saying, thank you so much for amazing information. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I enjoyed doing this. Have an absolutely wonderful, splendiferous day. I got a ton of other things that I need to get done today, so I got to run. But enjoy your day, and I'll be talking with you real soon.